Hi guys, welcome back to the channel, and today we're checking out the Meta Quest 3. Even though it's been out for nearly a week now, it's only taken me until now to actually get this thing on my face. I've not even unboxed it yet, so this is all going to be fresh as it comes. So is it going to hurt my face? Let's find out. So I've gone for the 512GB version, purely because you're going to run out of space eventually with lots of these newer games that are going to utilize higher textures and things like that. So if you're going to be playing it a lot, then I recommend that you do get the 512 version. And here we have the Meta Quest headset. So we've got our controllers here. All good, feels really great. And the headset, which I can understand when they say it's a bit front heavy, it does feel a little bit heavier, but because all that weight is on this part here and not the whole entire headset, it doesn't hopefully feel so bad. We'll see once we get it on our face. Got a little box of stuff. Okay, that's all the charging bits and bobs, manuals and whatnot. You've got the charging cable, which then you've got another charging brick here for the UK, triangle one, so USB-C input, and that is it. No doubt we have to charge it to get really fully going, so we've got to put on the headset first and get connected to our Wi-Fi. But before we do that, let's have a look at the headset then. It does look a little bit nice and more compact to the Quest 2. I'm sure you're going to see a lot of these. You've probably seen them to death now. This is just another unboxing really, but let's just have a look and see. It does look more rounded. This sort of curvature is a lot more curved than the Quest. It's actually a lot more flatter. So when it comes to doing the stickers on my Etsy store, I've got a few cool ideas. So look out for that. You know all the features. You've got the IPD setting, power toggle. I'll take this as the volume or something. Then you've got earphone input. That's going to mess with some accessories existing, and then you've got a power port, but this port is a nice homage to Oculus, some people say, but I think that's just how they've done it. Fabric always on the side. I thought this was going to be plastic on the side, but the fabric continues. Obviously the other head straps, they're going to be plastic on here instead. Power button, and you've got the facial interface, which you can adjust, and it's got, if you've got glasses as well, to make it a bit deeper from you, but that does change the field of view, so it'd be interesting to see what that is like. So that's the strap itself. Got now you've got a Y-frame strap now, which you can pull these aside. Quite a cool little design. Here are our lenses. Let's pull these up. These can go up in a similar fashion. Don't go further down. Not many people have mentioned that. These lenses are way bigger than the Quest does look like. Make sure you don't put any sunlight on them. That's obvious, but some people still do. Take these off. I'm going to be doing some prescription lenses for this, so check out the channel on that as soon as I get them. So there's a little button in there and also on that side, and if you push it in, you can see you can bring them out, and they sort of work independently, so you can actually bring your face further away if you've got glasses, so you don't have to worry about a spacer. Will people utilize that in their own sort of facial interfaces? We'll see, but I very much doubt they will. And it looks, I don't know, let's bring it all the way down. Go for maximum field of view. So not too bad. I've got quite long eyelashes, so I'm worried about these are going to brush my eyes lashes. We'll see if that happens as well in a minute. So let's get this headset on. So I'm going to turn this on, put it on as well first. Oh my god, this is loose. There we go. And then followed by the strap at the front. Right, I can see out the bottom of my nose, there is no nose flap, so that's something that you'd want to put on your Quest 3 soon with a new facial interface or something. Where is the button? Button's weirdly on the left. I expect it to be on the front. And now we've got like a Meta Quest sort of 3D logo now. I'm not sure if that was on the updates for the Quest 2. Probably the IPD I need to adjust. So I'm 64, 63. Oh wow, pass-through is pretty impressive. Almost looks surreal. Like I don't know how to describe it really. So we've got a demo in front telling us how to turn on the controllers by pulling these little tabs out. I can see the warping now as I'm doing this. Nice. So these haven't got displays on them, but they show the power display on the virtual versions of the controllers. So that's cool. And my hands are on them and not on them because it doesn't really know what's going on. So let's have a look at this. So I'm just going to do some configuration and get this thing running and set up. My eyelashes have touched the lenses already. Could feel that. A little bit annoying, so I might have to bring the field of view out a bit. There isn't much padding on this. I would have expected a bit more padding. So accessory makers, more padding up here, please, especially on the bottom region. And the top feels quite thin as well. So I can understand how people are getting face problems after a long use. The sweet spot is so wide that you're doing something and it doesn't actually make much difference. So that's good enough, I think. 64, same as my glasses. It's quite difficult to read text up close. It's a bit blurry. You do have to have it quite close up to your face. So I've got 5 minutes to repower this up and configure everything. So for now, I'm going to take the cable and charge this up. Doesn't give you a long enough cable, honestly. I think you obviously can't use it whilst gaming. It's definitely just a charging only cable. Probably not even a meter. Right, whilst that's happening, let's have a look at some of the controllers and how they work. So there's like a little bit of kind of slopes down, and I'm going to do some stickers transfers for color versions of this as well, that on my Etsy store, so look out for that too if you fancy colorizing these. Nice not having the ring. That was definitely a head scratcher for some of the accessory makers. There's like a little bit of a button there that you use to see it depresses in slightly, kind of like goes inwards. So you do that and then the whole thing can slide out. Got a battery pre-installed. Hey Bright, never heard of that brand before. But you've got an alkaline battery, 1.5 volt. And this is also how this contraption uses their wrist straps. And I think their wrist straps are a really nice way of doing the wrist strap. And I think all accessory makers should just follow suit. Don't start doing silicone covers. They're not so nice, and they're going to block all the LEDs that are around the outside perimeter of the tracking. So anything that comes over the edge that you might see on Amazon, they're likely going to block the controls. So get ones that replaces this and has the strap, either buying MetaQuest's own ones, or I'm sure there's going to be an abundance of alternatives out there from third-party sellers. You can take out the wrist strap if you're not a fan. That again is a more L-shaped hook now, so you can 3D print that to your heart's content if you want to look at other solutions. Just a simple little L sort of shape to it. I'm going to take them off. I absolutely hate wrist straps, so we won't be going with those. Take that one off as well. There's nothing to loop onto now, so we got no way of doing a cheaper version of the strap that I can see. That's just so you couldn't even loop it through that little bit up there, and it wouldn't come out of here anyway. So there's really no way of doing the wrist strap cheaply or for free using these wrist straps, unfortunately. So that's the straps removed. Won't be needing those. Let's see how we are doing with this headset. Right, so we're back in. It's given me a pairing code, so let's pairing successful. We've got a 61% charge in the headset. All right, so that's all set up, tied to our account. Fairly simple enough. I'm not so sure about this strap, and also it's very easy to touch the lenses with your forehead.
Welcome to your new Meta Quest.
Right.
Before you explore,
Tutorial time.
create a boundary.
So I'm going to make our boundary first. So it'll automatically make our boundary for us. I've got a lot of trash in this room, so it's probably really not going to say that it's a good location. It thinks we want to use stationary. Stationary is suggested, as expected. Now I'm going to use my own boundary. I'm going to do room scale. It's still not got my floor properly, like the Quest 2. We're going to draw the floor. Voila. Reserve your copy of our Asgard's Wrath 2. So anyone that bought the 512 version, you get a free copy of Asgard's Wrath 2. That comes out on December the 15th. Obviously the menu system and everything is going to be exactly the same as the Quest 2, in that you can move it about and things. You get 6-month free trial as well with the 512GB model, and looking at it, it looks like you can choose when you want to start that. There's no like date as to when you need to start redeeming it. So if you already got things like this month, you've got Onward and Little Cities. If you've already got those or you're not interested in them, then I'd say give it a month and wait till the next ones come over. It's not that far until November now. And then you can start your trial a little bit later then. That's what I would do, and that's what I'm going to do. It says you can download the game, Asgard's Wrath. Well, let's find out what's pre-installed on it. So you got some tutorials here, learn how to get more comfortable. So we've got something called First Encounters. So let's try that out. So giving them permission to access our spatial data, which is basically the room and the walls and everything. I'm going to try and record this if I can. So in our room, see how messy everything is. Sorry about that. Let's now set up my space. So we're going to scan the room. It's tracked all of the desks and the floor. Got to look up and over, trying its best to not do outside. Let's look underneath there, and I've got my chair in the way, so it's done a full scan as much as it can do. And if you've got like a modern day phone, you can do this with your iPhone and things like that. There's some apps out there that do like room measuring, which is really quite cool to have. So good to go for them. So it's now mapped all the walls, mapped them very well. That's good. Let's just tilt this back so you can see my face. I'm going to move this chair, see if it does it live. No. So if you've got a chair and you move it later on, it's not going to continue where that is. So I'm just going to move that out of the way. It still thinks there's a chair here. I don't want to add any furniture. Pesky puffins are about to flood into my room. Catch as many as you can. So it's landed where my chair would be. So I could grab this, yeah, lighting up all the bits in my room. Right. It's almost like Tetris. Right, already I'm starting to feel the headset pinching at the centre point of my forehead. Alright, so overall, I think pass-through is an absolute winner. I've not experienced the Pro, so I don't know what the pass-through was on that, but this is actually very impressive generally. It is a little bit more surreal. If you've seen like some 3D videos, imagine a real-life object is actually remade or remodeled in 3D. Kind of feels like that. So that's what there is, a little bit of warping, like you're underwater a little bit. So hopefully they'll fix that in future updates. But generally, thinking that's pretty good, the Meta Quest 3. Very happy. The one thing though, and quite a few people have already touched on it, is the comfort. There is a spot, and I don't know if it's going to show it, right there, almost on your eyebrow level, where it's a little bit pressured on this part here. So the number of people who have done it then, they must have felt that was a thing. So hopefully there's going to be a number of accessories that are going to fix that. One of which is VR Cover, who gave me my very first accessory for the Quest 3. So let's bring that out. So if you've had a Quest 1 or 2 before, VR Cover are a really good accessory maker. They've been in there since day one almost with some accessories, and the very first accessories that they normally do are face covers, and they've given me 2 of the colorways here to review, and like their previous ones for the Quest 2 and Quest 1, they're just literally slip-on covers, but this year they've actually added a little bit of foam to the front of it. So let's see if that improves anything on the front here. So you get a pack of 2, so you can wash one and wear one, and they come in 2 colors. You've got this red one and you've got this kind of grey color as well, so you get 2 of the grey or 2 of the red. So let's just choose this red one. They haven't made these with an actual Quest in hand, but they reckon that they're going to be kind of like 95% there on the fitting of it. So if this doesn't fit perfectly, then maybe by the time this video's out, they've already manufactured some that are a more perfect fit. So first things first, we've got to remove the facial interface. Now I've not done that ever, so I'm just going to turn this off. Okay. So there's little catches on the top, and there should be some little catches on the bottom. Oops. Right. So that's the facial interface stock that you get. So expect something like this from manufacturers, where it's quite easily a thinner frame beforehand. Let me just show you one. So whereas you would normally get a frame like this from makers, you're going to now see something like this, or they'll utilize this and they'll put something that goes over it instead. I reckon that's what they will do. VR cover also, this is a VR cover for the Meta Quest 2. They provide foam padding as well as the actual plastic facial interface here. So I reckon we're going to see big ones like that with Velcro adhesion, so you can actually put some foam padding on top. Hopefully that's what we will see. But for now, they've given us these covers. So basically the cover has two little straps on the bottom, and there's a strap on top, and there's inside there's a little hook that strap loops over and hooks onto. So to do this on here, we first need to take the padding over the edge there, and then this loops onto this little part here, and then just covers that part, and then we bring that all the way around. And even though it doesn't look like it's going to fit, if we do the bottom part first, so we loop it over the edge there, and but I would say it's not a bad job considering they had no Quest to work off. Now this loop here, that goes through here and attaches onto the little hook on the top, and then you can bring that back over the top again to make it look a little bit nicer. I'd say that maybe they could be just a tad longer, but given they actually had to make this without any molds whatsoever other than a CAD file, this is actually not a bad fit. With the extra padding, it might create less pressure that I was feeling originally. So let's get this back on our Quest 3. I've got little hooks here just to see how this is put together. So we clip this back in, and at the top that's all now clipped in, and that's how it looks on the Quest 3 at the top there with VR cover branding at the top. So let's get this on our face and do a bit of a test. Right, so we've got it on our face. It adds a little extra comfort or padding around this side of the face, and it kind of like interferes with the nose a little bit. So that's going to be interesting to see how accessory makers deal with that. But there is extra padding and cushioning where you do really need it with the original. I'm not getting the ear thing that people have been saying. These seems to be going over the top of my ears quite well, and they're not trapping it too much. So that could be a band thing that they've got these two low down. Just make sure that these are nicely positioned. But this little padding that they've made from VR cover, that's now sort of tickling the sides of my nose, so I'm gonna have to get used to that. But overall, it's adding some extra padding, which is very welcome already after 20 odd minutes. But it all depends on how tight you have this. If you make it too loose, it will start to be a bit too loose, and this will start to rock against the sides of your nose. But overall, it's an improvement, I think, these face covers from VR Cover. So a pair of these will retail for $29. To me, that's very expensive for a fabric cover. Personally, their original covers were, I think, a bit cheaper than that. So I don't know if just general manufacturing has ramped up that price or the fact that it's got foam in it. Personally, these should be less than $20 at most. They should be hovering around $10 really, personally. So if they want to ship these, I think they need to review the price of them before everyone starts to look at facial interfaces, which I'm sure we're going to get a lot of those over the coming months. So I think hand tracking has definitely improved. You can hear the fans going a little bit once you're installing things, so obviously that's putting a lot of tax onto the processor. I can actually hear the fans a little bit more prominent, probably a little bit more than the Quest 2 ever was. So there's only 8 games here that are better with Quest 3. Unfortunately, I only have 2 of those, so we won't be doing that. But I'm sure lots of other games will get improved over time. I'm also looking forward to the Xbox Cloud on this. I did try this and I did do a video, but I never actually got around to putting it up on the channel of Xbox Gaming. It did work really, really well, but having to do it officially will be a really nice thing to see. That's a quick look over the Meta Quest 3. Personally, a great headset. It's going to do a lot. I need to check out quite a lot of the games that are going to be coming to it, and all the existing ones that's going to get upgraded as well. But in terms of accessories that this channel's mostly about, I like to see something that sorts out the forehead pressure. What's going to fix that is going to be a fixed strap, like an Elite strap again. So look into getting an Elite strap or hold out a little bit if I was you, and look out for some third-party straps that no doubt we're going to be seeing over the next couple of months, at least before Christmas. I'm sure many makers are going to be wanting to have theirs released before Christmas season, so there will be a few head straps out within the next couple of months, I'm sure. I do have one already, so look out on the channel for a review of the Elite strap from Zyber. I'm going to be reviewing that very, very shortly, and that's going to help with reducing the pressure on your forehead 100%, I think. I've not even tried this strap yet, but that's definitely going to help with the front pressure and just general weight distribution as well, because this is a little bit heavier now, and anything that's going to help reduce the front weight is going to be a more fixed strap. So definitely, if you're going to be using this for longer than, say, even 20 minutes, which majority of you will be, then I definitely would recommend a fixed strap, and possibly a fixed strap with battery. I think that would be the ones to look out for with accessories for the Quest 3 going forward. Next will be some sort of wrist strap for these controllers. They're definitely easily to be thrown across the room because that ring is not there. You're definitely going to hit things as well with your fingers perhaps. So I think some form of protection for the controllers as well as a knuckle strap for these will be the next most recommended accessory to look out for. Can obviously jump straight in if you've got the money, get the MetaQuest Elite battery strap and also their knuckle straps that are built into the controllers, and then you've got the best first party versions of that. But I'm sure we're going to see a lot of third party makers release accessories for this headset pretty soon enough. Also look out for my Etsy store. I'll put a link down here to show you where you can get some stickers. I haven't started yet, but I'm definitely going to start releasing some stickers that you're going to put over here. I've got a very cool design for this that I'll show on the channel at some point in the future. And I'm also going to look into doing the transfers for these two controllers as well. All right, so that's a quick view of the MetaQuest 3. If you've already got one, then happy days, enjoy that. If you're looking into whether it's worth the replacement, I think it probably is worth the replacement of the MetaQuest 2. Knowing Facebook, they're definitely going to switch focus onto the Quest 3 and more likely with the mixed reality, which I thought was quite cool even from that first demo. And so it's going to be really interesting to see what developers create for mixed reality games as well. All right, that's it for now. Thanks for watching. Hope you found this video helpful. If it has, give us a thumbs up, and comments are always welcome. If you have any, let me know of them down below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers. Bye.